Mark, you disappointed you didn't win the Golden Goal?
Yeah. I really feel I deserve to win. Congrats to Jalen. He had an unbelievable year, really. But hey, I think I deserve to win. But I just can't dwell on it. I got to move on. I have bigger and more important things to worry about right now.
Was that a goal for you coming into this year?
No, not at all. I mean, if you'd have told me I'd be a finalist, I would have told you you're crazy. So I'm definitely blessed to even be one of the 3 finalists to be a Biletnikoff Award winner. So even a semifinalist. So I'm very appreciative of everyone who voted, the fan votes. It's crazy to even be a finalist. So I'm definitely blessed for that.
But have people talking about you in that realm and thinking of you in that realm, is that a checklist moment for you? Meaning, do you want to keep progressing? You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely. I try to get better each and every day. So that's all my mindset is. What you did last game wasn't good enough. So just, like I say, get better each and every day. Prepare for the next game.
You're also a unanimous All-American, which Biletnikoff wasn't on your list of goals. I'm going to assume that wasn't either.
No, not at all. No.
So, what were your expectations for yourself coming into this year, and then how did that change once it was clear Jackson was not going to be a consistent part of what was going on here?
My mindset going into the year was just be the best player that I can be for the team, help the team win, help us reach our goals, which we haven't reached any of them so far, and beat the team at North, get them in the Big Ten championship. So obviously on my part, I didn't do enough yet. So that's really what my mindset was going into this year. And it's going to be the same thing going into next year. I'm not worried about any awards or statistics like that. So I just take one day at a time.
Last couple years, LSU in 19 had a fantastic group of receivers, Alabama in 20. I mean, you guys, do you feel like this is a group that can make enough plays to, go into the college football playoff and do the things necessary to win the national title?
Absolutely. I mean, I trust, first I trust the coaches. I definitely trust the players. Obviously, CJ back there, best quarterback in the country. Best player in the country too. And then obviously the O-line's going to do their thing. The running backs, receivers, tight ends, everybody. So I definitely feel as though we have the firepower to be very dangerous in the college football playoffs.
There was a picture of you on Instagram. Were you really in here working on the jug machine right after the Biletnikoff? Like, was that on purpose or?
I mean, after the Biletnikoff wasn't really on purpose. I do it every night pretty much. It just happened to be that night that was the Biletnikoff award show. I'm in here every night doing that.
And one last question. You mentioned that unanimous All-American, a lot of great receivers have rolled through this university, obviously. What's that mean to you to join that list of, as a unanimous All-American at Ohio State at that position?
Yeah, it's very such a blessing, really. Like you said, there's so many great receivers come through here, and I'm sure probably some of them got snubbed because they probably should have been an All-American, unanimous All-American too. So to be named that is definitely a blessing. I'm very thankful for that.
I asked the same question to Emeka just moments ago, but with Jackson being out for the game, I'm sure he'll have a role going into preparation, but that leadership role is going to be empty between snaps. How do you see your role evolving to fill that gap?
I don't feel as though it's going to evolve too much, just what we've been doing, really. I think from a vocal standpoint, leadership, we definitely going to miss Jack from that standpoint, just him not being with us as much as he has been throughout the season. But guys like Jew and Mecca, they definitely can step in that role, be more vocal. I'm kind of more, I'm not really such a vocal leader, but I can kind of lead by example. So we definitely have to, fill that void of Jackson. We're going to miss him a lot. What he can bring to the table. So it's going to be a big loss for us.
You know much about, have you had any relationship with any of the Georgia guys in your secondary? Just meeting them along the recruiting trail, anything like that?
Not in my class. I know Tyke Smith. He's a DB. He's also from Philly. That's pretty much all I know.
The Penn State game, obviously with Joey Porter, that was the big thing there, and a first rounder giving you a chance to go up against a guy who's kind of likewise talent.
Yep.
It's the same thing with Keely Ringo here, a guy who might be first rounder in 4 months here. What stands out about him, and just a little film maybe you've gotten to see about him, and what makes him such a tough guy to shake?
Yeah, he's very athletic. He's probably the most athletic corner going into the draft. 6'2", 210, probably runs 4.3, jump really high on film. So he's going to be definitely a challenge for me. Probably one of the most challenging I've faced all year. Him and Joey. So I'm definitely excited for it.
Did you learn anything about yourself from that Penn State game, going up against a guy of that talent, and kind of where you stood as a player at that point in your career?
No, I kind of always had confidence in myself. I can go out there and perform at a high level against someone equal or just as high level as a player that I am. So I wouldn't say I learned anything.
How many times were you and Joey matched up in that game, you think? It wasn't every play,
Yeah, no, it wasn't every play.
Can you get too psyched about going against an individual? I mean, how do you balance that? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think can't get caught up in it too much. Obviously, as a competitor, you want to have those matchups every play, like you said. But no, that's not realistic for the game plan. He can't play man coverage all day. So he obviously went against some other corners in that game, but and definitely one of the games I remember for sure. He's a great player. He's going to go on and do great things in the league. Hopefully, you can see that matchup again.
One quick, you guys were leading 20-17 to half against Michigan. Y'all scored 3 points in the second.
Yeah.
What's got to swim? I mean, what's got to click? What's got to change? I mean, what do y'all? What's the urgency these next week and a half or 2 weeks to get ready for Georgia and stuff that's got to get fixed?
I mean, I think the biggest thing is just executing. You got to stay on the field. We can't go 3 and outs. Then we get in the red zone. We got to score touchdowns and not field goals. That's probably the biggest thing that we're focused on right now is converting on those third downs and obviously scoring points in the red zone. Because we're going to need to score a lot of points against Georgia. The defense is probably the best in the country, along with our defense as well too. But it's going to be a tough challenge for us.
But just physically, I mean, that's what you from a score standpoint, you want to change. Just on the field and stuff, what do you think was lacking in that second half from an offensive standpoint?
I think we just need to execute better as players. That's pretty much all I can say.
Is there a difference in attitude as far as how you guys are approaching practice now as opposed to maybe throughout the regular season?
A little bit. I think we're kind of a little bit more on edge right now, and we're definitely competing more. Receivers and DBs are going at it. The O-line and D-line are going at it. Running backs and linebackers are meeting each other in the hole. They're being more physical than we probably ever been throughout this whole season. So I think we all kind of have that extra edge to us right now of competing during practice. So when December 31st comes, we won't be any different.
Is there a difference in CJ, have you noticed, as far as how he's approaching practices? Because Ryan said he wants you guys to play loose and aggressive. Do you feel like maybe CJ's taking that approach as well as the rest of you guys?
Yeah, I think CJ's kind of always had that approach. At the same time, CJ's very calm and collected. He's not going to let anything bother him. If something doesn't go his way, he's going to stay calm. Because we all look at CJ. He's the leader of this team. So we kind of all look at him. And he's done a great job throughout the whole year being level-headed. So I wouldn't say anything's changed for him.
Is that the mark he's left here already, that he doesn't panic? I mean, explain what will always stick out about him here, win or lose games.
I think his leadership. I've never seen anything like it. Just the way he commands the team. Like I said, we all look at CJ when things are going good and bad. So especially when things are going bad, though, we all kind of look at CJ. He always rallies us together, whether that's halftime, we're down, or before the game. He's always talking to us, making sure we kind of have the right mindset going into everything. So that's one thing that I admire a lot about CJ, just his leadership. So.
Why don't you buy your own Monarch machine and keep it at home, and just so you don't have to come in here every time?
Maybe one day I'll get my own. Maybe one day figure it out.
You should get an NIL deal.
NIL?
Yeah, heck yeah, man.
You already broke one of them.
Yeah, I did break one of them. I'll talk to him. We'll see.
Marvin, how would you describe your relationship with Keenan Bailey, and what kind of impact does he have?
Key.
Yeah.
That's because he's my guy, man. Just recruiting wise, coming in here, talking to him a lot. When I first got here as a freshman, he's kind of one of the guys that helped me learn the playbook. He's always wanting to do stuff extra for the players. That's one thing I respect about him a lot. Like, some coaches come here and do their job, that's it. But I'm here at nighttime, and Key's here with me. He's watching film, or he's gonna help me on the Monarch machine. He's always helping players, so that's one thing I respect him a lot, and I'm super proud of him. Obviously he'd becoming the tight end coach now, so I think he's definitely well deserved.
What about him maybe resonated with you when you were a recruit that made him a guy you connected with early?
He wanted me to be great. I think we're with coaches. Same thing with Coach Hartline. They want you to be great. They want you to be great players. They want you to be the best version of yourself. So that's probably one thing that stuck out to me about them too.
And just for you personally, just to see him get that opportunity now to finally be that full-time coach, like how much joy does that bring you?
A lot, man. I know he's going to do a great job because just all the work that he puts in, all the film he watches. Like I said, he's always trying to help players get better. whether it's like the littlest things, in the way a step here, he's always trying to how to help you get better. So I'm super proud of him for that.
Did it motivate you at all to not win the Biletnikoff Award?
A little bit. Like I said, I think I definitely was deserving of it. Like I said, Jalen had a great year. He was just as deserving of it as me. So I wouldn't say it's any more motivation because I always was self-motivated. But like I said, winning the award wasn't even on my list of goals before the season. So to even be a finalist is definitely a blessing.
To get to be in a unanimous All-American, though, like what does that mean to you?
I mean, that means a lot. It's probably one of my greatest accomplishments in my life so far. So I'm definitely proud of myself for that. All the work that's going into that and to be rewarded like that. So it's definitely a blessing, and I just thank God for everything.